Good evening, sports fans. It's been quarter to midnight. As they say, that old jazz standard is around midnight, baby. That's when all the bad shit really starts happening, and all the magical shit. So, hey, first of all, shout out. Got me hyped there, Clarence. Good vid, man. You came back with some strong stuff. So I'm going to try to take the topics a little bit of this. First, I'd kind of like to address what you called out, not belabor a lot, see what's the free agents. And I'll throw some of my own ideas out. So I'm going to kind of stay in the realm of the free agency or how we can bolster the team right now. And I'd love to see other people's thoughts, whether it be video or written or however, right? One thing right off the bat, you named off some great free agents. I'm not as fond of the Callaway and Miller, although I get the reasoning as you are. But you really, really sold me on Jalen Samuels. I love Samuels back in the day. I thought Samuels coming out of North Carolina State was a fantastic kind of, I hate to use the word Cardell-like guy. Is absolutely could play H-back, no problem, fullback, play a little wide receiver if you need him, definitely be an inline tight end, and he can run the ball. I like players like that. They take up roster spot, they keep your roster spots kind of minimized, and there's sound ball players. Duke Johnson, man, you're right. Why is the Duke still out there? I mean, Duke is a proven receiving back. Had some great years over in Cleveland, especially on the receiving side. Kind of the Kevin Falk of this generation, which is a fantastic asset to have. I don't know why he's not sticking with the squad. The one that sticks out the most, Yeldon to me. I love Bama backs lately, but he's like that earlier Bama back that I kind of avoid like the plague. But Yeldon has played in rotation, and he's played successfully. And to bolster your case on Yeldon, let me remind you, Jacksonville, he actually was pretty successful. And I think they drafted from that, right? If I remember correctly. And then they kind of booted him out. And if I remember correctly, I think he had Buffalo next. I'm sorry, my research starts. I believe it was Buffalo, and I believe now, of course, they had Singletary and now Moss. So he's kind of a guy that just keeps getting lost in the shuffle. But yeah, I think he'd be an outstanding back. We forget he's a back with size. He's got decent speed. He's had some breakaway runs, as you know. Really, really good underrated hands. I think Yeldon is one of those guys I'd take a risk on. Of all the ones you said, why not? In fact, if I was going to go off those two, you gave me two to pick off the offense, I'd probably go Yeldon, and I'd probably go Jalen Samuels. Right now, I think having a bigger receiver, I'll still stick with the one I said, though. I still think Harry, a trade for him, a small amount, in the 7th rounder, 6th rounder, whatever, over New England would be the best bet for me. I mean, so I'm going to go back to Harry real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of getting used to this game. So, hey, I promise if we ever end up doing the podcast, we'll be really organized. We'll have, like, the fat boy, like, whooping our ass all day and keep us in line. How y'all doing? So, N'Keal Harry, let's talk about him, man. Okay, look. Has had some atrocious play, right? In some ways, but let's also put something out. When you fall out of favor with Bill Belichick or Josh McDaniels, you're just fucked, right? He was a 32nd overall pick. I'm looking at it. We're talking a 6'4", 225-pound man, right? This guy, looking at his combine numbers to make sure. So the combine, we're talking a 9.5 hand, 4.53 speed, 1.62 10-yard split. I've watched some of his tape. It's not speed that's his issue. It's not even the power is his issue. He seems to have balance issues and how he comes off the breaks. He really is just a rough player. I think it's a lot like a lot of Belichick guys. Like the guy got hurt right off the bat, right? That pisses him off. Then he requests to be traded. He is not the first player that would be pissed off and outcast by Belichick. Went back and watched some Arizona State play, and look, Lethal probably knows that better because you're out west. But you watch Harry play, yeah, he's definitely not Julio. I'm not even going to call him a Cordell or something like that. But the guy's got strong hands, big body. He's got plenty of takeoff. Long speed, it's not bad. He's a strider. But I think he's one of them guys, if you put with the right team, the right quarterback, and let's also keep something in mind. There is no Tom Brady with this guy, Who's throwing it to him? I mean, was it Cam, I think? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad Cam's going to New England Patriots. I hope he keeps it. Back to Carolina. I hope he keeps the job so Debo can beat him in the fucking end zone again. And, remind him why he sucks. I think Harry would be worth a 6th rounder. I think so. I mean, if nothing else from a depth perspective, Matt has been incredibly good. Back to our game manager thing we're talking about, involving people in the game. And, when you're talking, you got a rookie quarterback right now, and you had Cam before that. And you just had all this upheaval with New England with the departure of the GOAT. I think a guy like Harry is worth a 6th round pick. So I'll throw that out there. So I wouldn't mind a 3, right? I'd sign a Jalen Samuels. Somebody to push Hurst, right? If you didn't want to go Jalen, you want a little more solidified in the league. Obviously, Trey Burton. I don't know his health status. Trey is a fantastic route runner. Definitely the definition of like the Delaney Walker, move tight end. I think Arthur Smith's he's probably one of the better coordinators ever working with those guys. But so I would get somebody in there. Ironically, I looked up. I think Jaden Graham's still on our roster. Anybody know what the fuck happened? I mean, Graham was he the second coming of Gonzalez? Absolutely not. But honestly, Graham looked good in 19. He had some good plays on that, and then 20. The 20 was a disaster all the way around. so I don't want to hold that against anybody. But I think Vandy had brought up, what happened to Jaden Graham? I mean, Jaden Graham had that ample athleticism. He was an inline guy. He could split out a bit. It's kind of interesting they're not using him. And while we're on the wide receivers, we do have Darby. It was good enough to invest a 6th round pick. Look, 6th round picks come and go. I get it, but why not? And I'll give you another one. Why not put Avery Williams on the offensive side? I mean, straight up. I mean, as you know, Clarence, you pointed out, you can always get cornerbacks. You can get cornerbacks. That's a true story, right? Throughout the year. Why not put Avery on the other side of the ball? Put him as a slot receiver. I mean, you ever look at his build? He's built like a fucking slot guy. He's actually built he's actually built, Clarence, and JD reference too. He's built like that positionless guy that can do a little bit of running back, a little bit of wide receiver. He's that. I like to call these the Kevin Falk guys. Kevin Falk helped win several of those, those Patriot championships, and then you had a guy like James White, another integral part. Those guys are invaluable. They're not one position guys. So I mean, why not in house if we're going? Why not take Avery? Try you over. The guy's got speed. He's returned. He's got suddenness. Might be pretty fucking good. He's obviously not scared of traffic going across the middle, or he wouldn't be able to do punt returns. So that's where I'm at on those. Dude, defensive wise, I get you. Jalen Smith, I'm really not sure why Jalen Smith's unsigned or why Dallas cut him. I know they have a glut of linebackers or had at that point. That is one of the weirdest things in the world. Yes, he is not great at coverage, but I agree with you, Clarence. You watch him, the guy straight line and going to eat the passer and meeting the running back in the lane. He can do it. You get washed up once in a while, but dude's got some talent, and he's sitting out there now. I don't know what the deal is. So the only thing I really add there, I'm back to the offensive line. I don't think the offensive line is a problem. I actually think we got good depth. I think Dahlman had actually come along still. I scouted him heavily at Stanford. Mayfield's coming along well. Henny's not terrible. Honestly, and it's funny you said that because, like, you got Lindstrom. Lindstrom would be a guy, I think would be a great center to add. Young Lindstrom. I agree. I like him. He's cerebral. He's a lot like his brother, but in the center, a little bit less athletic, maybe. There's that left guard. I think it's Kenyon Green. Is that correct? For Texas A&M. Those guys in the draft, you could go, do I upgrade Jalen? But you're not going to do that this year. This year, I probably wouldn't add much. Maybe a vet if injuries happen on the line. But it really is a running back issue. I mean, I know Cordell hits the hole hard and fast and maybe over fast and upright. But Davis is just slow as fucking molasses, man. Pudding. I mean, bro, whatever he was juicing, he needs to balance that shit out. I don't know, too much deca ball, whatever. He needs to get that shit straight, dude, because them big-ass legs ain't churning no power. They ain't churning a burst. The strange thing on the running backs, to move on to, we have all of a sudden, we've been carrying him. Why? Why not fucking hand the ball off to the guy? I mean, come on, Clarence. We all loved him. We loved him coming out of Pittsburgh. I mean, you got him in the draft. So that's it on offense to me. So really just wrap offense. I think Jake put that out there pretty good too. That whole debate and whole thing. I think a lot of that comes. I think you addressed a little bit to Clarence. When you put a bunch of alpha type smart people in the dungeon. I love all y'all. It's great, but just like any message board, you bring some of the message board stuff, and I think the text and the writing can be misconstrued. There was never a fucking argument about OBJ. This was an argument that just went stupid, and I think Jake, you put it out there, but and good, Clarence, you come out, but solidifying a position makes sense to me if you get that capability. I'll stand by my original. Fuck, have we been able to sign OBJ? Fuck yeah, fuck y'all. I would have been all over it, right? Nah, he went to the Rams, makes sense. But it's over. But back to the point, yeah, I think I would love to. For me, you get a hybrid guy like a if you're not comfortable with Jaden Graham, you're going to incorporate him some. Bring in Jalen Sounds. He can kind of run him back, do a little bit of everything. Trey Burton, I'll pop out. Duke's, I like Duke. I don't know what's going on with Duke. Really into the running backs you named. Why not try him, right? I was really shocked when we dumped Dante Foreman, to be honest with you. That was still kind of shocking. But on defense for me, we're in a little bit out of the box a little bit. You've named some names. You got Trey Boston. Trey's, you're right, man. Trey's has been doing this thing for years. He's a good safety. He's all right. The one I would have loved to done is shock your asses, but unfortunately he went on the IR exactly 2 days ago. I would have sent a second and maybe a fourth or fifth for Marcus May. Yeah, I would have fucking done it. Creative accounting and everything, I would have signed to get long term. I'm telling you, he would have been fantastic. But coming off that Achilles, it's going to be a down year. He was probably not, the juices probably were to squeeze. Next year, I'd be going after Marcus Williams. I mean, bottom line, if I'm going to get like a Hamilton or something in the draft, I'm getting a game-changing guy I can go one deep with all day. Right now, the here and now, the players I probably would go to, I don't know if you mentioned him, Clarence, Geno Atkins. Look, if Geno's in decent football shape, yeah, to me, he's like Babs was, and that ladder was at 15, 16. Babs wasn't the same completely penetrating, get there guy. He certainly wasn't on Grady's level, but he is still got some quickness. He's still got enough stoutness to make a difference. In a rotation with a D line, I think he'd be an addition just to take some snaps from people that aren't as good. I mean, I hate to say it, it'd be the stopgap, obviously. For a trade idea for me, I keep looking at Clelin Ferrell, man. I think Kiwi pointed out, look how different Solomon Thomas did with a change of scenery. Oakland's a toxic fucking place. It has been toxic for years, man, even under Al. I'm a silver and black dude from way back. He lives stationed in LA, so, but that organization, is it getting on the right ship? We don't know now, right? As we've seen, it may not be, right? And Mayock may be better on doing the NFL draft than he's drafting. There's no way in fuck I would have drafted Clelin Ferrell as a number 4 pick. But back to what you said, God, it could be the name, it could be something stupid. It is the NFL. It's like any other workplace. Biases happen. Who gives a fuck he's the X number 4 pick? We don't care about his lofty expectations. But if I could get him for a mid-round pick, he's 6'4", 275. He's played standing up at Clemson. He's put his on the edge. He's stout. He can move inside on passing downs. Dude, he's not a bendy guy. He was not a bendy guy at fucking Clemson, by the way, right? But he can convert power. He's still a good force against the run, and he gets pressure. He's young, too. A guy like Pease, you look at his system, he's made a great living off taking reclamation projects like that, and even 4th, 5th rounders. Judon, Smith, some of the other guys. We were talking 5th round picks, right? 4th round picks. So getting a guy at 6'4", 275, a kind of available guy, stout guy, they put him in the stupid how many defensive coordinators has Oakland even went through? I mean, the kids' heads spinning. So I think I'd pick up the phone and go, Mayock, look, bro, I know he's the capital, man. You got to redo your shit, retool him. Hey, what about Max Crosby? He's probably going to hang the fuck up. If I could get Max Crosby all day, I'm bringing him in post-deadline, right? But Clelin Ferrell, I think I'd make a play for. I think he would be a youngster come in that would, at the very least, provide something better than a street free agent, right? Definitely, he would definitely put some size in there. He could be used multiple. That's a bonus. Will he be a super stud? Who knows? You never know. I don't think he's a number one. Again, I don't think he'll ever live up to the number 4 overall pick. That was kind of stupid. It showed Mayock's whatever the fuck was going on in his head. Maybe he thought he was still feeding the fucking monkey on the draft show, right? Another player, I don't know if it's possible, but we talked about a post-deadline trade guy would be, I look at Desmond King. Vandy, I know you'd be happy. I know Cog, you love him, a lot of people. I was surprised we didn't make a play for him. Secondary is not bad. It's got some talent in it. Desmond is again, some of these Swiss Army guys, right? These Swiss Army knife guys that you talk about. Desmond is the classic one. He can return. He played nickelback, excellent. He plays safety, right? I really would do him, and I honestly, I'm gonna go back to something I said earlier. I'm gonna throw this out, guys. What do you think about Avery Williams? There were people looking at him just coming out of the draft and convert him to a running back or wide receiver. If you really looked at him, he's built like a fucking running back. He's built like a slot guy. He's got that nice wide build. He's not scared to go across the middle. He returns fucking punts, for God's sake. And defender-wise, he's raw anyway. And if you could pull, let's say we couldn't get a King, which would be something optimal in either system, but if not, there are vets out there. I think Avery Williams could surprise you. I don't know his hands, but I mean, it's also workout drills. Looks good. So that's kind of where I'm at. So the big one is for me, we're all in agreement, which you can do now, but big for me, I'm going to throw out, I'm saying Clelin Farrell. Why not? Seek it out. We know some shit's not going. Why not sink a 5th rounder, 6th rounder? Maybe a 4th even. The guy has that sacks. He gets pressure. He sets the edge. Fuck the 4th overall. That's not our problem, right? You're not going to be able to do anything crazy with Marcus Williams. The Saints aren't going to fucking trade him. He's a next year target. Trey Burton, I'd look at, beat the trees. Cog, I already told you I'd go off your guys. But I'm dead serious. What do you guys think about Avery Williams? Maybe Avery Williams is the problem we're looking at. Maybe he's that number, that kind of, in a lot of ways, he could be a little bit, you know what he reminds me of? I keep going back to old school. He could almost be a Kevin Falk type guy. Kevin Falk was that type guy. He was that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, off the bat, Williams is like 5'10", 195, something like that. Pretty well built. Look at Falk, kind of similar build. Good hands, return, a little bit of everything. Sometimes on your own roster, you have things that work out. Well, anyway, that's kind of concluded me. So, what's you guys on Clelin Farrell? Yeah, let me know. Beat me up. I don't give a fuck. It won't be the first time. And what about Avery Williams? Let's leave it there. All right, who's up next on the video? Looking forward to this. This has become fun. Hey, add the Fat Boy shout out. Dude, definitely interested in the podcast. Sounds like Naughty God is well. Y'all have fun. Peace in the Middle East. Bye, y'all.